What in the world?
I'm not like you! Goodbye, Father. I don't need you anymore.
Side ops list updated.
How'd we do? Got an elite guy, Scowling Osprey. Alright.
Please select a mission.
They keep talking about missions, but we don't really have any. Side ops list was updated though. Nothing important. Ah, probably the last one. Let's get him.
Please select a landing zone.
Same equipment, and then we'll listen to more tapes in a second. I had to have a little bit of pizza because it's a little bit of time until dinner, but I'm making a roast pork tonight, and I'm super pumped for it. It's like from the Columbia cookbook. I made a arroz con pollo a couple weeks ago, and it was delicious out of the cookbook, so this pork should hopefully be pretty good too. We'll see if it is as good as like my mom's roast pork. Yeah, arroz con pollo was at least as good as hers. So hopefully this matches that. Alright, let's see who we're gonna get this time. The thing that sucks about this is that it's like after we grab this guy, he that's when it gets a lot loud. Like that's when all the noise is made. Oh, there he is. We can just do this right now. This is quick. D-Dog's peeing on something.
Boss? Is that you?
Da-dun.
9 years.
One of the guys out on a mission at the time. He's fallen a long way from the glory days. But will he come back to us?
I think yes.
Bring him home, boss.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Let's just go back to Mother Base.
Roger.
I don't want to do that one.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Yeah, let's just go back, and then once we've figured all that out, then we can...
B-Quad. On station at LZ.
Making it hard for me to see P-Quad. It's nice when they were nice and quick like that.
Gaining altitude.
Let's switch sides. Thought I would try.
Departing.
But with the helicopter moving and me moving, like that's a really hard shot. Whoa! Let's go to Mother
Please
Base.
select a landing zone. Heading to Mother Base.
Ba-na-ba-ba-na-bum. Ba-na-ba-ba-na-bum. I bet there's a cutscene. Nope. Well, then we'll go talk to Paz and see what happens. There could be more than 10 Wandering Mother Base soldiers. I just figured that 10 was a nice round number, and that's probably what it would be. Under extraction, heavy infantry, mine clearing. I don't see any other ones. Let's see what's up. Thank you, sir. She's still in here. Boss. Alright, let's talk to Paz. Or she won't level up. No, she's like on this level, isn't she? Is she just... I can't see her? Oh, no, there she is. Why was the door already open? It usually isn't.
Oh, Snake!
I have a few photos for you. I wonder if it's going to let me give you more than one.
The Costa Rican Sea. It is so beautiful. Costa Rica means rich coast.
Mm-hmm.
Please, please, get them out of my country. Them? Huh? Who was I thinking of?
The Americans, the CIA, La CIA.
It was... And then I... No, that is not right. But I am an angel of peace.
Oh man, I think she's coming back to her senses.
I am so tired. I will just lie here a while.
That sounds like a good idea. It's a mission that I was working on. Should have 2 pictures. Chico. Football. Oh, we're like 2 pictures behind. Probably from that time that I got lost. But there are no more of these guys. I guess if I do it this way, it's a little bit easier. Yeah, that's just 10 of those. Maybe I'll get a picture for the last one. Or maybe I need to leave and come back. That sucks if I need to do that.
Roger.
I still have cassette tapes to listen to.
Arriving shortly at LZ.
I want to listen to that informant's report. And learn about hamburgers.
Station at LZ.
Get up, Snake. You know what? I'm gonna try something instead. Just for a second. I appreciate her listening to Maneater.
Please select a delivery point.
I'll go over here, and then I'll come back. And hopefully that works. The time-honored Metal Gear way of getting around.
Please select support
Medical
helicopter has
platform.
arrived.
Oh, okay. Let's try this. Let's see if it works. It might just be like, no, dude, you were just here. But if it does work, it's going to save us a lot of time.
Support helicopter has arrived.
He's going up into that helicopter and coming back. Sooks. Nope. Oh, I'm tired. Damn it, and I wish I wasn't staggered the way that I am. Alright, let's do it.
Roger.
I was like, you better get your ass over here. This is obnoxious. It's so obnoxious. I have to put clothes in the laundry too, and this is not helping with that. Phone recovery device. So annoying.
Please select a landing zone.
Coming back. In the red. I hope I didn't lose any of my favorite guys when I've been in the red, because I have been in the red. If this is like you have to do a mission in between these, I'm gonna be so mad. Let's play one of the tapes though.
Skullface, real name unknown. Born in Hungary, more specifically northern Transylvania, after it reverted to Hungary from Romania. While he was young, the country allied with Germany as part of the Axis powers, but later during the war, it came under Soviet occupation. The Hungarians struggled for independence, but the Soviets came down hard. Just like he said,
bet.
time and again, the country was ruled by a foreign tongue. When he was a young boy, he lost his native language, the bedrock for any developing child. His country, his family, his face, his identity, everything was stolen from him. All he had left was his skull. Skullface first tried his hand
And
at
his face.
espionage during all the chaos from the war. Agents, military officials, and soldiers who operated out of Hungary during the war vanished over the course of several months. This Soviet spy hunt rocked the counter-intel world.
It's probably him.
Mysterious fatal illnesses, accidental deaths, drownings, people having strokes behind closed doors. Just like Stalin, no one knew who was behind it. But all
Skullface.
you need to do was look for who had the motive. They were all taken out by a man without a face. And now
Dun, dun,
we've got
dun.
an idea of how he did it too. He'd gotten revenge for his people, but he wasn't finished. Skullface defected to the west, eventually ended up with the SAS.
Interesting.
That's where he met Zero. It's
Zero.
possible he began planning this whole thing back then. It's hard to say. In any case, Zero made him his XO. He always did have a thing for oddballs.
He loved him like
But this
EXO.
one was set to lead a unit no one else would know about. When Zero created Fox, he also formed XOF as a support team. An unconventional special forces unit designed to support Fox, make it stronger, with Skullface given the orders. Zero never even told the boss about it. Nor the CIA, naturally. If Fox was Zero's silver bullet, XOF was the recoil when he pulled the trigger. just like Newton's third law. While you were with Fox, Skullface was operating behind the scenes. Sometimes as your backup, sometimes as a mole or scout, sometimes as your cleanup crew. Fox's
Scary.
tale, making sure the mission succeeded and that you survived.
Commencing platform construction.
Sweet. I got enough stuff to do some serious upgrades.
Commencing platform construction.
Alright. Using my PF points for once. Yes! It's Chico.
What is it, Snake? Chico. I wonder what he thinks of me. I have not seen him lately. Maybe he is angry.
He's dead.
There is something I am hiding from Chico. Or I thought there was.
That you're a spy.
It was.
Oh man, I'm getting close to getting her.
No, that is not right. But I am an angel of peace. I am
That's her
still-
mantra now. She's gonna drop the picture.
My head. It hurts.
One more, guys. I feel bad because I feel like this is part of what is making her hurt.
We only have his word to go on, but Skullface's goal was revenge against those who'd use language to subjugate people. Those corrupting a people's identity
Roger.
by forcing a new tongue on them. Those using the power of language to control information. Naturally, that set his sights on Zero. To Zero, English was simply the most convenient code. But to Skullface, English was a parasite. And by eradicating it, he'd stop the world from being eaten away. If that didn't work, he was ready to see the world scorched by nuclear fire.
Not cool, dude.
To save language, culture, and race from annihilation. He was willing to overstep the hands of the Doomsday Clock. That is, of course, if you believe anything he had to say.
Nice one, Ocelot. Cause fuck that guy. You know what I mean? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. And these are the last ones that are mission important. I hate that I have to do this, like go up to the helicopter, come back down, go up to the helicopter, come back down.
Please select
What are you gonna
a
do?
landing zone.
Let's start the informant one. Ba, ba, ba. Ooh, I have 5 fingers. I think his first hand didn't have it. It's probably because I got to slap people in the face with my rocket arm. Okay.
We finished decoding the informant's report.
Which informant?
That floating kid we've run into a few times now.
All right, this thing.
Looks like he was a test subject in clinical experiments. The Soviets called him the Third Boy. The Third Boy was brought to a lab on the outskirts of Moscow from Czechoslovakia, after which he was due to be sent to a research center in Leningrad, then
Siberia.
finally an academic town in Novosibirsk. It doesn't appear that the researchers witnessed the talents we've seen from him, but nevertheless he was quite the popular subject. His latent cognitive abilities suddenly awoke en route to Moscow. According to the report, The third boy was easily influenced by other individuals' biofields. Evil thoughts, in particular. They affected his mind like a virus.
He's an empath.
Extreme anger or resentment, motives for revenge, in other words. Now, during the transport from
Oh,
Moscow,
so
the
that could
boy
explain
was
why he got
exposed to a
involved with
powerful
Eli.
mental energy field coming from a certain individual. Ever since, being conscious of his powers, he's become a sort of energy generator. What's unique about him is the way his acute telepathic abilities get taken over by another person's will. The boy begins to physically parasitize individuals experiencing extreme anger and codify the host's desires. This includes amplifying the host's natural strengths. Or, in accordance with the host's desires, he can also implant program code in another individual, making them a puppet.
So he can take over them.
Human neural synapses transmit weak electrical currents between neurons. These electrical currents, though at a level difficult to observe, warp the magnetic field outside the body. The third boy is able to pick up these weak fluctuations. Contrary to psychotronics, which involves controlling the human mind, his abilities as a receptor are too high. The emotions he picks up from another individual are amplified and unleashed into his body as they recur in his brain. They turn into microwaves, which then affect the physical world, triggering paranormal phenomena like the spontaneous combustion of organic matter or psychokinesis, moving an object without touching. There's one other
Or
thing.
like the Burning Man.
While he's parasitizing a host, the boy's ego gets shut away, allowing the will of the host to take control of his
So
power,
Eli was controlling
like
him.
some annoying static drowning out your own voice. That means he isn't responsible for what's been happening.
It's Eli.
His extreme anger has manifested through the third boy's powers in ways none of us could have predicted, which would mean this was going on somewhere around us.
Or Kaz. Said watch out for Kaz. Alright, final picture.
What is it, Snake? Football. I joined in. And there's Huey refereeing. He said,
Ugh, Huey.
we have forsaken our countries and become one with the earth. It is good being here together with everyone, you know? It was... And then
Is this it, finally it?
But I am an angel of peace. I am a student.
Ugh, I thought maybe we'd get it. But we didn't.
It hurts.
So that wasn't it.
Looking back on it, a lot of things make sense now.
Yeah.
Man on Fire, Sahelanthropus, they both came to life thanks to the third boy's powers. Everything has been happening through him as a catalyst. We first saw him in the hospital on Cyprus.
I remember that.
The boy parasitizing the Man on Fire's desire for revenge gave him his new abilities in return. He next appeared at the Hamid Fighters Fort where the honeybee was hidden. There, the boy parasitized Skullface's vengeful mind. He controlled Sahelanthropus, making it do whatever Skullface wanted. Same goes for when we extracted Emmerich onto the chopper. When he appeared at the Devil's House in Central Africa, Skullface's will controlled the Man on Fire via the third boy's powers. Everything
Okay.
was clear up to this point. But even the informant couldn't pinpoint who the host was in the cave within Serac power plant. Sahelanthropus suddenly became active, then crushed not only the Man on Fire, but Skullface as well. Surely neither of them could have been the host. Who else was at that location and bore anger more extreme than either of them?
It was Eli.
Whose will was controlling Sahelanthropus?
Eli.
According to the report, emotions transmitted in children's brains affect the surrounding magnetic field more strongly.
Gotta be
Cerebral
Eli.
nerves are covered with insulation called myelin sheaths to increase impulse speed. The reason for this leakage has to do with the fact that children's myelin sheaths are still developing. So, how many children do you remember being there?
Eli.
Children with a burning desire for revenge and bearing a grudge against you. I can think of only one. Eli. We don't know what kind of life he's had, but the resentment he's shown toward adults is nothing short of extraordinary. The third
Yeah,
boy
seriously.
resonated with Eli's mind. And that means Eli bore the strongest animosity of all individuals within the boy's reception range, estimated to be a 3-mile radius, beating out
Yikes.
Volgan and Skullface. The third boy has probably remained hooked on Eli's anger since. You remember at the Devil's House, the third boy showed an interest in Shabani? That must have been his ego making a rare appearance. He may
Interesting.
possess abilities far beyond anyone else in the world, but he's still a kid. Maybe them both being kids was enough to bring them together. And if so, maybe with Eli, he isn't feeding off him, but acting in symbiosis with him.
That's scary.
So what kickstarted the third boy's powers? If we look at the location and time that his plane went down, we can make a pretty good guess. When the plane experienced the first anomaly, it gave an accurate report of its position to a control tower, due north of the Black Sea, 125 miles east of Kiev.
Kiev.
Dead south on the Black Sea is Cyprus's Green Line. So the plane's position was directly north of the hospital where you'd been asleep for 9 years. And
Okay.
this anomaly was reported at exactly the same time
My
that
hatred.
you woke up. The plane was enveloped in flame from the inside out. The fuselage burnt to ashes. There were no survivors, at least not publicly admitted. Your thoughts formed a synchronicity with the boy's psyche and were amplified inside his brain.
So I caused the man on fire.
Enough to trigger his abilities. Your rage was like a big bang in his head, blowing the lid off his powers.
Huh.
The boy was then secretly moved to the lab outside of Moscow where Volgan was comatose. There, Volgan's thoughts resonated with the boy and he was awakened. Volgan became the man on fire, hell-bent on getting revenge on you. His
Right.
instincts led him straight to you. Skullface knew Volgan from Operation Snake Eater, or perhaps from even before. Monitoring this pair of extraordinaries, he discovered the hospital and sent his assassin and XOF. Skullface was
Interesting.
probably watching the situation from close by. Then, realizing how useful these two test subjects could be, he approached them. Reacting to Skullface's thirst for revenge, this time...
I bet they would have been really into it.
Skullface's will control Volgan. Volgan, at times driven by personal revenge, at times through Skullface's will, kept on moving, though his body was little more than dead meat. Perhaps
Right.
there were moments where even your thoughts affected him as well. But without the
Yeah,
boy's
probably.
power, it was like the plug had been pulled from the socket. Everything was powered by anger, malice, revenge.
That's kind of the theme of this
The end
game.
of the report sums things up. Both the third boy and the man on fire were originally test subjects of paranormal research for military applications, like telekinetically controlling the leader of an enemy nation and making him launch a nuke, or stopping the heart of someone on the wrong side of the Berlin Wall, experimenting with latent human abilities. They were used as tools of the Cold War. The boy's
Yeah.
only crime was being born with unique gifts. But he was sacrificed on the altar of war. His life reduced to slavery under other people's wills. Turned into a living weapon.
Roger.
With no will of his own.
Poor kid.
Eventually, the only emotion he could feel must have been the desire
So he's into revenge
for the
too.
hand he'd been dealt. Boss, it's you that awakened the boy's powers. But there's more to it than that.
Yeah.
Anger emanating from you was something he could truly relate to.
Well, that makes me feel a little guilty. Let's get up into the sky and then we'll listen to the rest of the tapes, decide what to do next. I could have sworn that we would get the next thing after we finish talking to Paz, but maybe it's going to come in the sky, or if not, maybe we just have to finish listening to tapes. Hamburger tapes or whatever. Hamburger tapes. Yeah, what if the hamburger tapes have like some sort of info or intel in it? Or what if it was listening to this last informant intel thing that's going to give me the thing that I needed to know, you know? It's hard to tell.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Free roam. Seychelles.
I finally had a decent draft of the lyrics, so I showed them to Professor Galvez first. He liked them. He said I had done a superb job capturing the sense of a young girl's troubled heart. There were one or two lines I thought needed brushing up, so although he said lyrics aren't my specialty at first, he gave me some advice. Everything he said made perfect sense. When I tried putting in his changes, they made the song feel deeper, more sincere. That is the professor for you. He always has the answer. With the lyrics finished, I was ready to show Miller. He does not often take things seriously, but all of a sudden, he was saying, "Paz, you have the soul of a songwriter." And I did not even listen to Enka all that much. Maybe I am pretty talented after all.
Yeah, maybe she
But
is.
still, it took so much time to write the lyrics that there is hardly any time left to rehearse before Peace Day. The three of us rushed into the makeshift practice studio on Mother Base to see how we sounded together. Miller strummed away with a big smile on his face. I sang the main melody, and Professor Galvez improvised a backup melody. I know the professor is smart, but is there anything he cannot do? And Miller's
Stay
guitar
alive.
sounded a lot better now that he stopped singing. But I can hardly criticize his voice. I thought I had learned the song well enough listening to the tape as I wrote the lyrics, but I had trouble with the pitch and kept missing the rhythm. I have to practice, but there is almost no time left. It is just 3 days until Peace Day.
It wigs me out.
Wait, I thought there were 3 days left before. I went and checked today's date with Miller and the professor. The date has not changed. It is the same day.
What?
Something is strange. Am I reliving the same day?
That was weird. I'm gonna do one side up and then I'm gonna go back to Mother Base. That wigged me out a little bit.
Please select a heading to Afghanistan. Deploying.
That really wigged me out a little bit. This is gonna be the last thing that I do, though. I just noticed the scar on Big Boss's arm. We're landing like right in the little zone, so we'll see if we get shot at or something.
Development project has been added.
Okay. Let's see what we got.
Get him!
Pretty sweet. Nice work, Diamond Dog. Alright, that guy's still hiding back behind over there.
You gotta extract him.
Analysis complete.
There was a car. I don't see it anymore.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. That's the target.
Alright. Unfortunately, this guy's messing with my Dougie.
Attack!
Got him. I think I'm getting pulled back to Mother Base.
Roger that.
Updated. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Boss, we have an emergency. There's been another outbreak of the vocal cord parasites on the base. Several men are dead. It
How?
started in the laboratory on the quarantine platform where the radiation leak occurred. I'd only just deployed the security team. I've sent in a rescue team to help, but they haven't returned. Boss, I need you on this. Come back to Mother Base ASAP.
It was only Quiet. Quiet was the only one. They're gonna say that she talked.
Here we go again. There's been another outbreak in the laboratory. The quarantine platform. We sent a team to investigate and recover the survivors, but they haven't returned.
There's nothing on the radio either. We got a backup team ready to go.
I'll go.
Just give the order and I'll go alone. Boss, what are you... There's no need for that.
We can't afford to lose anyone else.
We have no idea what's going on
Exactly. Anyone still alive's at their breaking point. Last thing we need is another unit storming in. No telling how they'd react.
This might be it.
Fine. First off, check how much the infection has spread. Rescue comes next, after we know the situation. When you're ready to move,
Gotcha.
just use the iDroid.
This must be it.
We have no idea why the parasite has showed up again. I thought we took care of it. We need more information. Find out what's going on, boss. Select the mission on your iDroid.
I will. Yes. Probably the last mission. I can learn about hamburgers later. Alright. Without sortie prep.
Boss, we We have another outbreak of the vocal cord parasite inside the quarantine platform's laboratory. Several men are dead. It began after we discovered that radiation leak in the facility's research block. I dispatched the security team to seal off the source and move the researchers to the containment block next to it. That's when
I think this is what he already said.
I immediately sealed the laboratory and sent a MOP-3 rescue team, but they haven't returned and comms are dead. We have no idea why the...
Shit. Well, I'm gonna quit. Take care of some laundry stuff I gotta do, and then I'll come back and do this. Thanks for watching. Dan Plays Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. I'm Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. This is Dan. I'll see you next time.